you tell us what's happened in the last 24 to 36 hours? There's been absolute mayhem and total confusion. What happened?
Well, after a day of madness, this morning we woke up to a new sunny reality, which had a clear signs that all the controversy of yesterday, which made a lot of people half mad, including trying to buy tickets and to flee Russia. So the whole story is over. Luckily, there's a happy end in the whole story of this Yevgeny Prigozhin's so-called coup, which is over by now. This I can tell you for sure. So it has already gone into history, and it has, let me add to that, that it has gone into history as probably the shortest coup which can be written in a Guinness book, and also the funniest coup since, with all the dramatism of the situation, since there were no any clashes, there were no any casualties, not a single person was killed or even wounded, and not a single shot fired. So all that remained for us as some enigmatic event, which luckily faded away as a cloud, and we've seen silver lining to clouds, and we hope that we will pass. We have already passed this crash test and passed quite successfully.
Well, the Wagner Group is credited with some of the biggest gains for Russia in Ukraine and in this entire conflict, even with the Donbass offensive and what's happened in Donetsk and they had an active role to play. What went wrong? What triggered the mutiny?
That's a $1 million question everybody's struggling to understand. I can just try to give you my perception, how I see it. But let me give you a bit of a background. Who is Yevgeny Prigozhin? You see, because one day people were asking who is Mr. Putin. Now everybody is asking who is Mr. Prigozhin. Mr. Prigozhin used to be one of the close friends of President Putin, and he was even nicknamed Cook of President Putin. Though in his interviews he more than once said that he knows nothing about cooking, and the origin of this nickname Cook comes from a fact that he's the owner of several restaurants where allegedly President Putin in the old days used to dine. But despite of this restaurant business, he emerged as the head of quite successful private military company Wagner, which was doing quite important job in hotspots of Africa before coming to Ukraine. When we talk about Ukrainian crisis and the standoff at the battleground, it's an open secret that Wagner boys were doing a great job, and they were very effective and instrumental in the early months of the standoff with Ukraine. Specifically, largely to their credit, we were able to get control of strategically located city of Bakhmut. Sometimes it is called Artyomovsk. That's an important milestone of the whole Ukrainian campaign, and it should be credited mostly to Wagner boy.